Hello everyone, this is Annie. Welcome to this video. This is just a Speedpaint illustration of this piece called Honeytrap. The idea behind it was to have a lady that entrances men, and then I don't know, either for her personal pleasure or to gain some sort of benefit from them, maybe monetary. She's like she just lures people in. That's why there's honeycombs in the background, and there's gonna be some honey dripping down from them. And that's why she looks so, I don't know, I don't want to say hypnotizing, but I wanted to give her really intense look in her eyes. I hope I captured that. I used a reference picture of myself, well actually two, one for the face and one for the hands. It was really hard to capture the pose that I wanted. I couldn't find any other reference either, so I just took a picture myself. But it was really hard to hold the pose and take a picture at the same time. But hey, it's better than not having reference at all. I think that is super important. I don't use reference enough, unfortunately. So at least I did it here. So you already saw me sketching out the pencil sketch in the beginning. I then scanned it in, and now I'm drawing on Procreate on my Apple iPad with an Apple Pencil. I have the 6th generation for the iPad. Yeah, I've had that for a couple of years, and it's still doing its job. It's good. It's good. And I like using airbrush to do my line work. So the airbrush, not a pencil, but that tool. Just because I really like having different shades of black or gray in my line work. It's nice sometimes for some styles to have a really pitch black pen. But yeah, I just prefer this because you just have so much more freedom. You can already decide, okay, this area I want to be really black. This area I want to be a little bit subtle. As you can see, like, her eyelashes are really black, and the inside of her ear, I never really shade that part. I always just paint it black. And then I give everything else a thick outline as well to separate it. Yeah, I like giving a lot of definition on the line work. I guess that's the best way to put it. I didn't want to draw all of the honeycombs again like I did in the sketch, so I just copied pasted them and then turned the alpha lock on, turned them red so I could erase them more easily. And yeah, overall for this piece I wanted it to have a different color scheme originally. I was imagining a very red makeup look, red eyeshadow, and maybe black hair. But then I was like, well, I could just shade it all in different brown tones to give it maybe like a sepia look, or a bit of a more old-fashioned look, a vintage look if you will. And I've really liked monochromatic pieces recently. I don't know if this counts as monochromatic because I think there's a lot of different shades, and some of them are more red, some of them are more orange, so it's not technically monochromatic, but it's close to it. And that was something new. I'm not happy with it, but I feel like that's what a lot of artists say, and that's what also drives you to get better. Because if you would always be happy with your work, why would you want to improve it? So I see it as a positive that I'm not happy with it. It's okay, it's not the worst thing I've done, but yeah. There's just something off about it. And I'm not sure if it's too low contrast, or if it's a facial proportions, if it's both of that, if I could have maybe lined it a bit better. I really don't know. I can't put my finger on it. I also don't think I flipped the canvas, which I could have done. I think that would have cleared up some of my questions, but it is what it is now. It's done. I am done with it. And I'm not gonna tweak it anymore. Maybe one day I'll redraw it. Who knows? I also wanted this to be an oil painting, but I've only ever worked with oil before once. So I didn't want to do this complicated of a piece in a medium I'm not well versed in, so I'm doing something else currently in oils to kind of test my waters there. And it is just easier to color it digitally, to be fair, because you can just always change things around. But I think this could look nice traditionally. Oh yeah, I was also not happy with how I rendered it, because it still looks messy. It's not a very clean finish. And that's preference as well, of course, but I just prefer it not to look like that. But hey, that's just another part that I could improve in future. If you see some pauses, or if you already saw some pauses in the Speedpaint, it's because I streamed part of this piece on my Twitch, which is simply_Annie on Twitch. If you want to give that a look. I sometimes stream my art there, and so if I'm interacting with people or talking about other things, or I get distracted, which also happened, I just pause for a bit, so that's why the recording is paused. But it felt like it wasn't too disruptive, so I left it in the editing. And maybe it's nice to have a slower look at some pieces, because it is sped up quite a lot. I'm not sure how much it is, but it's very quick. So maybe it's nice to have a little bit of a breather in between, because it can get a little bit dizzy if you watch some parts, especially the hair part where I changed it a lot. I also have stabilization on. That's the only thing I really change, especially when I do line art. I like to have that on 50%, but I turn it off whenever I do shading, I think, just because you want to have kind of a free flow feeling when you do the shading, but with the line art you want to be more precise. At least that's how I do it. So yeah, that's why I have that change. But apart from that, it's all of the basic brushes that you get if you buy the Procreate app. It's nothing special. I'm pretty basic when it comes to my tools digitally. Pretty sure all of this is just the airbrush tool. Pretty sure about that. Even the signature at the end. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that I can say. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye!